Hi guys, one of my New Year's resolution was to learn how to use a manual gearbox effectively. I have over 10 years of real-life driving experience, and all these years I drove a car with an automatic transmission. So while playing rally games, I thought, what could be the point of using a manual gearbox, at least using a controller? You need to press extra buttons and be distracted from the control of the car itself. But boy was I shocked when I switched to a manual transmission. I had a feeling that my car finally gained access to a required amount of oxygen. And besides, for the first time I realized how powerful this tool is for achieving better results in time. Of course, it was necessary to spend more than 1 hour and more than 1 day to master the manual gearbox. But it was the New Year holidays and I found enough time to analyze how the best rally professionals do it. I watched several WRC stages, paying close attention to the moments at which the pilots changed gears. I analyzed different types of turns and decision logic. A modern display of World Rally Championship makes it possible to see not only which gears the pilots change at what moment, but also at what speed and what degree of pressure on the accelerator and brake pedals. And it's amazing. The only thing I would like to see is the entire stage performed by top pilots with such information displayed. I found this Ken Block's video with GoPro camera recording the entire stage in Ireland. This is one of the best rally videos I ever seen in my life. I recommend you watch it. The link will be in the description. So having a sufficient amount of theoretical knowledge, I began to practice. And it seems to me that I chose the ideal stage for this purpose. Speedy Estonian stage in EAWRC game called VSR. They're all main elements and types of turns for practicing gear shifting. I'm gonna give you this spoiler. Using a manual gearbox, I improved my personal best at this stage by about 15 seconds. You can see my result on the leaderboard. 3rd place, using a controller. How about that? So the question of whether an automatic transmission or a manual one is better, for me is closed. Now I want to share all my knowledge about how to effectively use a manual gearbox, showing 2 of my best results with 2 different classes of rally cars. I'm gonna do a full stage analysis explaining my decisions. But first we need to make the right choice of the first car. And I recommend you 3 of the H-forward class cars. Classic 5 gears, amazing sense of the size. They are well made and this game and look very good inside. And of course, the sound. These are the best cars to start with. My personal choice, Peugeot 205 GT, but all 3 cars are great. Okay, let's start. The first thing is the desire to get maximum energy from each gear. Don't rush to change gears at the very beginning. Try to squeeze out the maximum useful energy. This is especially applicable to Class H2 forward cars. I was listening to the sound of the engine, like the engine itself was gonna ask me to change gear. And of course, the red light in this car is a sure sign to upshift. When entering the first turn to the right, I downshift to 4th gear in order to quickly gain speed after the slight slowdown caused by this turn. The next, sharper turn to the left. I lower gears to the 3rd very early in order to slow down the car using the lower gear. This is a very effective technique that allows you to maintain greater control over your car. Next is a twist on high-speed section. Here try not to touch the brake pedal in order to keep control of the car and at the same time maintain speed. There are a few moments where I ease up on the gas pedal. After this, there is a slight turn to the left, which can be passed with minimal loss of the speed by lowering the gear. Next is a long high-speed section, after which there is a sharp turn to the left with an angle of 8 degrees. It's very important here to slow down properly and enter the turn. I started to do it right after hours of practice. And yes, I brake here using a combination of the brake pedal and lowering the gears. For this type of cornering, it makes sense to lower gears to the first one. Here, please note that I am in no hurry to upshift. The lower the gear when accelerating the car, the faster you pick up speed, especially with a slope like this. Next, one of the most important turns to the right await us. I downshift and enter the corner at the perfect angle. Again, practice will allow you to do this. The next turn to the right turned out well if you slow down properly. I also use a gradual reduction in gears here. Next is a long high-speed section with several jumps. In order to enter the left turn without any problem, I once again use a speed reduction by lowering the gears. Downshifting to second gear may have been unnecessary when turning right, but I maintained control of the car and quickly pick up speed. Next comes the high-speed section where we need to turn on our inner Colin McRae and show courage. Then I made my first significant mistake. I didn't correctly calculate the speed of entering the right turn. But I was lucky. Just before the finish, I accidentally downshifted and lost about half a second. And let's consolidate the material with the car from an R4 class. McRae R4 has the most potential here. By the way, this is how cool my customized McRae looks. Tactically, I'm gonna use almost the same strategy, only I will change gears faster, because the cars pick up speed faster. I'm gonna be honest, this car is much more difficult to control, and in addition to effective gear shifting, we are gonna need to use other rally techniques. For example, power slides and Scandinavian flick. If you don't know what it is, then I'm gonna add a link in the description to Colin McRae's masterclass. Here I began to lose control of the car, but lowering the gears in combination with sharp turn of the steering wheel ultimately saved me. Next, I showed extreme caution and accuracy when turning right, lowering the gears to third. Maybe I lost a second, but I retained control of my McRae R4. This car is like a wild horse. Its character is not always easy to control. I didn't dare shift into 6th gear here, because I wasn't sure I could handle the speed. It's funny, at the end I accidentally downshifted again instead of upshifting. Only 12th place. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that I finally mastered the manual gearbox. And I wish the same for you. Write in the comments about your experience, and if you would like to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. For you it's just one click, but for me it's important. So, use a manual gearbox. Good luck and have a good stage.